Hello, I'm Douglas Gosselin, an author, a veteran, and an American citizen. History warns us, nations rarely collapse overnight. They erode when violence becomes the language of politics, when trust in institutions is hollowed by force. Yugoslavia began as a federation, but leaders discovered that violence could win loyalty faster than law. Ethnic identity was weaponized, neighbors turned on neighbors, and both state broadcasters and faction-controlled outlets spread propaganda that stoked hatred. Institutions splintered until civil war consumed the state. Lebanon once resolved its divisions in parliament, but when militias took up arms, politics was decided by gunfire, not compromise. Each faction ran its own media, repeating lies and rumors that hardened communities against one another. Violence eroded civic authority, and the state became a battlefield ruled by factions. In Syria, peaceful protests asked for reform. The government answered with bullets, while state media denied atrocities and factional voices spread fear. Each broadcast deepened mistrust, fractured society, and escalated into civil war. Violence didn't just destroy Syria, it dissolved the very trust that held the nation together. These are not distant tragedies. They are warnings. And here in America, we have begun to see troubling signs. A candidate nearly killed at a rally. A conservative activist shot and killed by a sniper. State legislators attacked in their own homes. Embassy staff murdered on our own streets. These aren't partisan incidents. They are alarms. Violence is not just against individuals. It is against the republic itself. But responsibility does not rest on the media alone. Violence grows in the soil of many failures. When leaders use reckless rhetoric, when citizens retreat into echo chambers, when institutions hesitate to act with fairness. Each of us has a role. The press has one. So do our leaders. So do we. Part of that role is civil discourse. And civil discourse is not about pointing the finger. It is about holding ourselves accountable first. Individually, we can all make a difference by choosing to argue the issues and the facts. Feelings matter, but the debate over personal feelings belongs between family members, or with a therapist, or with a clergy member. It does not belong in our news. Civil discourse demands that we keep the public square focused on truth, on facts, on decisions that shape the nation we share. A free press is vital. But freedom without accountability corrodes. The same is true of politics without restraint, leadership without honesty, and citizenship without vigilance. We must hold ourselves and our institutions to standards that protect truth. And here is the heart of it. Truth does not belong to any one person, party, race, gender, ethnicity, or orientation. There is only one truth. Decisions will always involve gray areas, compromise, and judgment. But the truth itself is not gray. It is bold, it is colorless, and it is visible to all. There's a difference between an honest error and a deliberate lie. Errors demand corrections delivered with the same weight as the original mistake. If it was front page news in bold, the correction must be front page news in bold. If it aired in prime time, the correction belongs in prime time. Truth must stand as tall as falsehood. But when deception is deliberate, whether in government, in campaigns, or in the press, it crosses a line. A half-truth dressed up to persuade in another direction is not the truth at all. An incomplete account delivered incompetently or intentionally to mislead is a lie. Falsehood, whether bold or disguised, is no longer journalism. It is no longer leadership. It is no longer service. Press credentials, public trust, and the mantle of authority are not rights. They are responsibilities earned by truthfulness. One of our responsibilities as adults in America is discernment. Yet discernment and vigilance are not enough. We must also have the courage to call out the lie and the liar, openly and with proof. To hurl accusations without evidence is to weaken our own credibility and risk becoming part of the very problem we oppose. True courage is not only naming the falsehood, but showing clearly why it is false, presenting the evidence that unmasks it. That is the only way our words carry weight and the only way the republic endures. During campaigns, we demand equal time for candidates. Why not extend the principle to our greatest domestic debates on war, public health, or the economy? Not to elevate the fringe, but to ensure citizens hear the full range of perspectives. Democracy requires more than one voice. Yes, the risks are real, but so is the opportunity. We can choose accountability over apathy. We can insist that truth, not ideology, not identity, guides our republic. We can reject violence not with silence, but with unity. And unity must mean more than words. Violent crime has to be rooted out and punished in a way that drives recidivism close to zero. We already have the right laws. We have many of the right officers and many of the right prosecutors. What we need are judges who will uphold their responsibility. Judges who will hold violent offenders accountable. This is not partisan. No American wants their neighbors to be murderers, rapists, or predators, whether they were born here or came here from elsewhere. On this, we must stand together. The strength of this republic has never been the absence of conflict. It has been our refusal to let conflict define us. From every fracture, we have found ways to repair. From every storm, we have rebuilt. Our future will not be written by those who divide with bullets or deceive with headlines. It will be written by citizens who demand honesty, who protect one another, who refuse to surrender the republic to fear. America does not have to follow the path of failed states. We can choose a different course together, and in that choice, we prove again that the republic is not fragile. The republic endures. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.